absolutely love visiting the California Redwoods, especially in the spring. During the end of May and into June, wild rhododendrons bloom within the forest. If there is fog and sunlight, you can bet there'll be some light rays as well. I'm so glad I experienced all of this during this visit, even though it was a little early for the rhodi blooms. Even though I visited during weekdays, there were still a lot of people on the trails. Many workshops were going on. I even ran into a few photo friends who were leading their own workshops. I fully intended to vlog, but there were just so many people on the trail that I felt really awkward doing it. Perhaps I'll get more courage with more practice in creating these videos. I hope you'll be patient with me. Friends, I thought I would just jump into this video and just take a few moments to share some of my tips for photographing in a forested scene with light and fog. So the first thing I would recommend is look for side lighting or backlighting. These can add some really dreamy, magical effects to your images. So if you've got backlighting your flowers, like for instance, I was photographing rhododendron bushes and the trees, and so the bushes just kind of glowed in those situations. If you have fog and light, you're going to get streaming light, and it's just something that you're not going to be able to miss because it's going to look like a magical forest. It's just incredible to witness and photograph. So look for those conditions where the fog and light is creating those light beams. Now, a sun star can add really a dynamic look to your images, so I like to create sun stars whenever possible. And if you're in a forested scene, you can always bounce the light off the side of a tree or through the limbs and get that nice crisp sun star. And of course, you're going to have to use a smaller aperture to create it. I like to have a really good quality lens so that my sun stars are nice and crisp. Another thing is you're going to have to really be careful that you don't overexpose your images. So what I like to do is I like to take multiple exposures. Now, if you're taking bracketed shots or multiple exposures, then later what you can do is blend them in Photoshop really easily, and maybe that is a topic for another video. But you want to make sure that you don't get those blown out skies, because it's really can happen easily when you're shooting directly into the sun. I like to use my histogram and kind of watch it and make sure that I'm not overexposing. And of course, if you're taking multiple exposures, then you're going to be okay, because like I said, you can blend them easily in Photoshop later. If you're in a forest like the Redwood National Forest, the trees are big, so you're going to have to use a really wide angle shot. And of course, you can zoom in using a telephoto lens if you have a longer lens and create some good compositions. I actually shot the entire time I was on my trip. I shot my Tamron 28-200, and that was just perfect because I could do some close-up shots, I could do the wide angle shots, and it worked out well for me. But using a wide angle if you want to try to shoot those big trees is a must. And please stay till the end of this video because I'm going to share all my images that I took on my recent trip. And thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.